Year 2, it's time for me to share your home learning this week. There's going to be a bit of writing we're going to ask you to do. We're going to be asking you to do some maths this week, and there's also an art challenge for you to have a go at as well. So let's start then with English. Now, can you believe we are now in the 9th week of not being at school? So we've had an idea in Year 2 that this week, every day, you could write a lockdown diary. And in that diary, you can write all the things you get up to at home each day. You might write about when you go out for your walk. You might even talk about how you feel about some of the things that happen in your day. We are challenging you to write your diary every day this week. And then, of course, don't forget to send us in a photograph of the diary that you write. Also, your challenge this week is to see if you can include in your diary lots and lots of our Year 2 writing skills. For example, you could write a question, you could write an exclamation sentence, you could even try and use all of the conjunctions that we were learning before we left school. So that's your writing. Then we'll move down to our maths. Now, as we often share with you each week, there is a puzzle that we would like you to do, and it's called Pick a Pair. Now, on the picture you'll see on your puzzle, there are 4 snowflakes, each with a number. Now, my art skills let me down, and so I've just written the numbers on my piece of paper. So you get given a number 8, a number 2, a number 4, and a number 1. Now, what you have to do for the first part of your challenge is to pick 2 of the numbers and then add them together. So, for example, I could pick number 4 and I could pick number 1, and then I can add them together. And then I would write that calculation down. Then I would put them back and I would pick another pair of numbers. Now, your challenge for part 1 is to pick a different pair of numbers every time and see how many different calculations you can make and how many different answers you can get. Then part 2 is to again pick a pair of numbers, but this time you have got to take one number away from the other. Now, this is where you're going to have to use some of your Year 2 skills, because we know that in Year 2, when we're picking our numbers, which number needs to go first? The largest number. So, for example, I could pick an 8 and I could say 8, subtract 1, and then I would write down my answer. Your challenge is to see how many different answers you can get if you are subtracting. Now, we know from our maths lessons in Year 2, we love our what if part of the lesson. So once you have completed part 1 and part 2, your what if is what if there was a 5th snowflake with the number 10. Then you've got to redo number 1. How many different answers can you get now? And then redo number 2. How many answers can you get then? Don't forget to send in any learning that you do to our Year 2 parents@eastparkacademy.com page. And of course, don't forget, every single week in maths, you can also be on Times Tables Rock Stars. We think in Year 2, more and more of you should be playing. So really make it a challenge this week to join in and have a go, because you might then win one of our certificates. Then the last part of your home learning this week is an art challenge. Now, we're very excited about this in Year 2 this week because we know how creative you all are. So your challenge this week is to create your very own self-portrait. On your sheet, you can see different ideas. You've got one here, which is very colourful. We've got one here made out of natural materials that maybe you could find in your garden. There's one here where you can create a portrait where half of it is a photograph of you and the other half is what you draw. And then this final example here that I've given you is where you do a silhouette of you and then fill it with all of the things that you love. So 4 ideas there, but you might even be able to come up with your very own idea. So we would like you to create your very own self-portrait. And as we always say, send in your photographs so we can have a really good look at the self-portrait that you do. So that is your home learning this week. Write a lockdown diary, have a go at the maths puzzle with Pick a Pair, and then be creative and create your own self-portrait. Don't forget, we just love when you send in your learning. It really does brighten up our day. I know we say it every week, but it really is true. Don't forget to send it to Year 2 Parents at eastparkacademy.com. And then, of course, it's through your learning that you send us that we choose our learner and star for our praise assembly each week. So enjoy your learning, Year 2, and we can't wait to see all of the learning that you send in over the next week. Bye, Year 2.